Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Rosie and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Rosie's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands with no treats and lots of good eye contact. Now Rosie is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first thing that we're going to do is take a moment to introduce the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any little correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You will be taught how to use your training equipment properly during your follow-up training session tomorrow. Now, as I said, Rosie's sitting at Rich's left, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is nothing more than proper leash walking, but it's one of the most common complaints, and the command is Rosie, heel.
Rosie, heel.
Now at this point, Rosie has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when you're going for a walk. Not forging ahead or lagging behind, keeping herself focused on where you are at all times. And that's why Rich throws those turns in, so that she's forced to pay attention, because she doesn't exactly know what he's going to do next. Nice automatic sit. She looks up at him for direction. Her eye contact is really good. And she walks at his pace. And he's doing right turns, which are harder than left turns, and she's staying right with him. So this makes walking her a pleasure, and you're not getting dragged down the street. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. Stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, we do not use her name. It's the one-word command to stay, flat of your palm, an inch or two from her muzzle. Your homework will be to lengthen out the amount of time and the distance that you can go on your sit stays. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, ending up back where they started. She should remain seated until she gets her next command.
Good girl. Rosie, heel.
He tells her, good girl, and they take off heeling again. She is a sweet dog. She has a lot of potential to go very far. Good girl, good heel.
Rosie, heel.
Rich leaves her in another sit stay. He walks out to the end of his training leash, and you can practice these sit stays right in your house. You don't have to go outside. It helps to lower the amps on our indoor behavior as well. This time Rich is going to demonstrate the come on command. And she comes and she sits. So what we're working on is eliminating her jumping. When you call her, she should come and sit, not come and launch herself at you. And the only thing that we're using for positive reinforcement is praise. Rich is going to leave her in another sit stay, and he's going to demonstrate that come on command again. So he walks out to the end of his training leash. When he calls her, he does use her name. He calls her in. She comes right in and sits. And then she goes back to heel and back sitting. If she doesn't sit, you see Rich give that little tiny correction and the word sit. No sit. Just as a reminder, if Rich speeds up, she should do the same. So if you're a power walker, she should too. If you are walking slowly, having a conversation with someone, she shouldn't lose her focus. And slow heeling is harder than fast heeling. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the down from a heel position. So with her seated at your left, you're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay, again, can be practiced right indoors, so don't let the weather be a deterrent. And Rich took a step in because she was eating something off the ground or licking the dirt. And down is down. You're going to work up to 5 minutes with this down. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her again, just as he did on the sit stay. He stops at her shoulders, he gives her praise for a good job, and he heals her out of that. Now, this is what we consider drill work, where you go through the exercises one after the other, over and over, so that when you need them in your everyday living situations, you have them.
Down. Stay. Stay. No. Down. Stay.
And Rich is correcting her for sniffing and eating stick or whatever she's got there. This time Rich will call her out of that downstay. She comes right in and sits, and then she returns to heel. Now the very last command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is your down from a distance. This is a harder command because you're not right next to the dog. You're going to leave her in a sit stay. You're going to walk out and face her, and she's going to itch. Now when she gets distracted, we don't get upset. We just go back and do it again.
Stay.
Rich is going to use his right hand to give the command, and she goes into a down from a distance. Now we have demonstrated for you some of Rosie's new skills. Rich will go over everything that she has learned, answer any questions that you have. I think she's had a really good time here at school. I know you're looking forward to getting her home, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company. We will see you very soon.